Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome to this card making project. In this project we're going to make a showstopper. This card is going to be absolutely spectacular, using lots of Anna Griffin products, both old and new. Everything I do use I shall put in a detailed description on my blog, so please be sure to check it out, because if for any reason, including old age, I forget to mention something, it will always be on my blog. Plus there'll be extra photos on there as well. You can also find me on Facebook, and where you can comment and I can reply, as well as my blog. Or check me out on Instagram, anne-marie.vo. There's a little list at the end of the video that gives you all my links, etc. So please be sure to have a look on Instagram as well, because I add extra photos on there. It's a lot easier, new phone you see, so I can just snap away quite happily and upload them. So obviously, everything we do use, I'll mention it as we go through. Now, this card is a showstopper, as I mentioned, and I just hope you enjoy it. So let's get on. The first thing we need is our base card, and this is an Ivory 7x5" card. It's a normal standard card. I'm using my bone folder to just make that nice sharp score along the edge, and I'm just going to put that to one side for a moment, because the inside that we're going to make, I've already started the layer, the base layer, and I've stamped it with the words "Happy Birthday my friend," and I've actually used some old stamps. No, I haven't. I've used the sentiment stamp and die set. I'm sorry. See, I tell you, you hit 50 and old age just kicks in. You don't know what you're saying. You walk into a room and you forgot what you've gone for. So it was the sentiment stamp and die set. I've stamped it in gold, and then I've heat embossed it with gold. And then the new lace edge die set from Anna. And wow, what can I say? These are just absolutely spectacular. I adore this set. We're going to see it many times in the projects coming up, I feel, because you can just do so much with them. Now, I've taken one of the dies from the set, and it's the border strip die. I've die cut it, and I've die cut it in its entirety, and then I've just snipped it down the middle, and you've seen that I've got tape on the back of one side of it, and I'm just simply adding it to the edges of the insert that we've stamped, and then I'm going to trim away that little bit at the bottom just to make sure it's going to fit our inside like that, and then I can add this to the inside of our card. I've got flat tape on the back, and all I have to do is peel that away and add that the right way up into our card like that. Now that is a very quick and simple insert, and you know what? It looks so effective. It looks like you haven't stuck it down, but obviously you've got your tape at either side, so you've got movement in it. And wow, you've got enough room for your message, etc., and you've still got your sentiment on there. So now we can turn our attention to the front of the card. I'm just going to use my bone folder just to make sure I've still got a nice sharp crease. Now the first thing I'm going to do is add a layer of gold cardstock. This is from Anna's Metallic Layers 7x5" set. Obviously, if you haven't got that, you could cut a layer to fit. And I've left this the same size as the card. So this is going to cover the whole of the card. I'm just going to turn it around slightly so that I can see what I'm doing to marry it up. So it's going to give the whole card front the look as if it's gold. Now my next layer, I'm going to do the same as we did for the insert. I'm just going to work on the layer itself before I add it to the card front. So I've cut one of the border dies in Ivory. I've got tape along the middle of it, and I'm just going to add that through the centre of our first layer, like so. And I'm going to try and get it nice and straight if I possibly can. There, I think that might do for now. Next, I've taken two of the side border, the border again, and cut it into two. But I've also used the shadow layer as well this time. So I've cut the shadow layer and then I've cut that in half. Now I just want to show you a tip. I've tapped an ink pad along the edge of the shadow layer, and it's a gold ink pad, and I was struggling for my gold ink pad to dry. And I thought, what can I do? Because I don't want to cover all this gorgeous ivory cardstock with gold. So I put clear embossing powder on it and I heated it. And it's given me this gorgeous effect along the edge. So I thought, oh, I can run with that. I really like that. And I've simply just added tape on the back. I haven't done anything else to it. And all I'm doing is adding the shadow layers to either side of the middle border. So I'm marrying it up at the bottom, so all the excess of my layer is at the top. So we'll be able to snip that away. Now you see the shadow layers at either side. Now I can add the lace over it and just marry it up at the bottom into the corner and take it all the way up. And you see how that shadow creates that perfect shadow. I know I'm waffling there a little bit, aren't I, about the shadow, but it just looks so good. So then we can do the same at the other side. So it was just one border strip cut into two, and then the shadow with the gold ink pad and the clear embossing powder. And now what I can do is the overhang at this end, I can snip this away and just snip, snip, snip. There we go. There we go. And now that's ready for me to add it to the front of our card. So this can go on the gold layer, and then it's ready for even more embellishments. So we'll add that like so. Again, that was flat tape. Now that is a card on its own, in its entirety. But we're just going to take it to the next step, I think. So I've die cut the oval in the lace edge set, and I've die cut the shadow for it. Now it's on 3D foam, and for the shadow layer again I've touched it with my gold ink pad, and then I've used clear embossing powder as well, and I'm just going to add the large layer to the card like so, and then I can add the lace layer. Now for the lace layer, that again is on 3D foam, and I've used some pearl dots just in a couple of places around the edge, as you can see, just in Ivory. And I'm going to marry up the layers for the lace oval onto its shadow, and you can just see that gold around the edge. Now I've not got that straight, so I'm not a happy bunny, and if I don't try and straighten it, there'll be somebody screaming at home and writing to me saying, oh, you didn't get that straight. So we'll just try that again. There we go. That looks better. And I know you're all like, oh, I never noticed that, Maria. Oh, it's fine. No, it's not fine. And OCD kicks in. So our next layer is the smaller layer in the lace die set. And I'm still unsure whether to go this way or this way. So I'm a little bit undecided. I think we're going to go lengthways. In fact, I think we'll do it. I know I'm so naughty, I'm flapping out, I'm being indecisive. I think we'll add those two together first, the shadow layer, which I've used the gold ink pad along the edge again and the clear embossing, and we'll just see which we prefer. So we can either go this way, landscape, or we can go portrait. Now I think I'm going to go portrait because I think that was the way I decided previously. And so I'm just going to pop that through the centre to build the next layer. And you can see I've added some little ivory pearl dots on that layer as well. Next, I've got a scallop circle, and I've got to admit this wasn't one of Anna's dies. This was just a set of nesting dies that I've got. And I cut a scallop circle of ivory card, tapped the gold ink pad around the edge, embossed it again. I've got 3D foam on the back, and I'm simply going to add that towards the top of the layer, the lace layer. Next, I've got one of the circle ornate frames from the Sentiment Stamp and Die set. I've stamped this in gold and heat embossed it. It's on 3D foam, and I'm just going to put it over the top of our scallop like that. So we've got the shadow of the gold from the scallop, and then I've stamped Happy Birthday in gold and embossed it, and this again was from the Sentiment Die and Stamp set, and it's on 3D foam, so I'm going to add that in the centre. And then to finish our card off, I've got an ivory bow, a large ivory bow, that we're going to add underneath our sentiment, like that. And that is our card finished. You can see the inside matches perfectly to the outside. It stands up nicely. It is so ornate and pretty. And I'll give you a close-up. It just absolutely stunning. I adore these dies. I promise I'll try and not use them so in every project. But it'd be so difficult. They are so beautiful. And I can see so much potential with these. We are just going to have some fun using those. That is stunning. And I hope you like it. I hope it's given you an idea, a little bit of inspiration, maybe to think, you know what, I could do that. You don't have to be an advanced crafter. You can use your shadow. You don't have to, use your ink pad and your heat embossing. You could just use a different colour of cardstock behind it to create the shadow. Just have a go. The dies do the work for you. They really do. And I just hope you've enjoyed watching. Please check my blog for extra photos. and let me know what you think. Let me know if you like it. Let me know if it's the colouring you would use. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next time.